Why did you have the mighty boss tones in your head?
I don't know. Do you want me to keep it over here?
No, you've got to...
What happened here? What happened there? I'm pointing at...
Really? No, that's not in.
What do you mean? Well, what happened there?
What do you mean? What happened there is on the podcast.
It doesn't have to be on the podcast. We can edit out this bit.
I don't want to edit. We told you that.
Yeah, we told you that?
Yeah, me and my other personalities.
Yeah. All right. I don't know why I was listening. I don't know why the mighty boss tones were in my head. I've forgotten my sunglasses. It's hard on the eyes.
Hang on, did you forget them at home or what?
Home.
Oh, okay.
Actually, worse than that, they're in another car. A car I own. But yeah, that's why I don't have them.
Is this you trying to get me to give you my sunglasses?
No, I'm just keeping my eyes shut.
You're aware of how journalists interview people, right, with the microphone? That's kind of what you need to be doing.
All right, move it back and forth.
Yeah, ideally.
What do you think about that?
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
All right, we said you'd get the accents out of the way early.
No, that wasn't an accent. That was an old person who didn't quite know what to say, which is not much of a stretch for me, funnily enough.
It's true. Stu, do you know anything about sports?
Are we turning to sport already? That seems like an early thing for us to be doing.
Do you know much more about the mighty boss tones?
Just interested in the kind of brain things that are happening to get them in the front of your mind.
Never had to knock on wood.
Okay, so did someone say that phrase to you?
No.
Did you have a wood and that made you think of the song?
You know, actually, weirdly, now that we're going back further, you might have said something about fellatio that got me thinking about wood. You might have even mentioned wood.
What a tease for people. I might have said something about fellatio.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But, weirdly, I didn't start singing The Girl of My Dreams is Giving Me Nightmares. Now, why would I sing that?
Because it's a banger.
By which band?
The Mighty Bang Tones, I don't know.
Machine Gun Fellatio.
Oh, right, okay.
That's why.
All right, but listen, number one, me talking about fellatio would mean if that's what is getting mighty boss tones in your head, then that's going to be most days, because it's one of the few kind of things I actually talk about. Otherwise,
consistency.
Yeah. Secondly, I've lost my secondly. Fuck.
Maybe move to a letter structure. Go B. Does that help?
I think I threw myself with fellatio too. I threw myself right off the topic. No,
Throw your neck out is what you'll do. This took a blue turn rather early.
It did. Oh God, I wish I could remember what I was going to say. It seemed good when I first thought of it.
Secondly,
No.
does that help?
No. What great podcasting. And we're back in the fucking car again, which we said we wouldn't do.
Yeah, it's the only time we get time to do this. This one's weirder though, because literally I have my eyes shut. I don't want to get a headache, so I don't know how that's going to help.
Well, what do you need your eyes for? All that means your eyes shut is that you're not going to point to things that people can't see on the side of the road.
That's true, less visual gags.
Yeah. Hey, Monty, just what about before? Fuck sport, right? We'll get there. People will understand. What's happening with you?
Not much.
Thoughts?
Not much. Bit of mighty boss tones floating around in my head. Not much. Back at work, going back to the office instead of, working from home. It's been about a year, so that's good feelings,
Yeah.
I've felt some crispy. Here's a bit of professional transition for you. I've felt a bit of the crisp, cool air of February evenings lately, which is a little off-putting, but it's reminded me that sport is around the corner.
Yeah. No, that's all quite dull. Thank you for all that.
You want to talk about fellatio more? What do you mean?
Well, yeah. But I suppose we'll get to sport. Did you have sport things you wanted to talk about?
I've got a few things.
I probably more so than fuck me dead.
That was a car thing. It was more scary for me because I had my eyes shut.
That's just going to make me jam the brakes on every now and again.
Don't do that.
All right. I think more so than any other year for a while, I've just been feverishly reading whatever rugby league articles I can find in the off season, just because I'm just that into it. Like usually I'm happy for off seasons to be off. I'm going, all right, I'm not going to think about it for 5 months or whatever. But this time around, I've just been going, I need to know what's going on. I need to know.
I weirdly feel like you were telling me this last year around this time.
So I'm a liar, am I?
No, but I think you're just maybe forgetful. But yes, I know what you mean. Have you found anything from these articles you've feverishly been reading?
Repetition is what I find, because funnily enough,
Nothing to talk about.
when it's in the off season, you got nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
You just keep rewriting the same article every couple of days.
What's the article?
Oh, Cam Smith, mainly. Is he retiring?
That's fair. Yeah, there's a lot
is
of
he going to the Gold Coast? We have no new information, but we're just going to regurgitate the same speculation we did 3 days ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. What about Bulldogs players macking on to their mates' girlfriends in their house while they're sleeping?
That feels like a off-season article, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That
What
feels
about the cunny who was in the Port Macquarie schoolgirl scandal a year later, after being so remorseful about all that, getting a DUI? How about that?
To be fair, they're different.
They are different. So what? So you learnt the lesson about the schoolgirls. It doesn't translate over to any other possible transgression.
Yeah, look, he's a rugby league player. You can't expect much from him.
He has big hair, and obviously, can't learn lessons. We've got your window down, so
I was getting a
in
bit.
the car next to you.
I know,
was
I could
pretty
hear him.
confused by what we were saying there.
I'm getting a bit. I was getting a bit car sick.
Were you? From the eyes shut?
Yeah, I think the eyes shut and there's not much air in here.
All right. Well, I didn't want to turn the air conditioner on because it would make
The
a noise
sound.
on the
Yeah, I know, and it got to me a little.
Do you reckon I could turn it on?
Let's see.
And maybe people will forgive us if there's a slight hum in the background. All right. Look, sorry this is such a shit podcast.
We're so sorry.
We are. I mean, there are better podcasts out there.
Don't tell them about that. We're banking on them not knowing that.
No. Well, there's one called Bit Weird, but fair enough, I guess.
Oh, you're using this to promote your own podcast.
So, well, you're on it.
I am. I'm getting a lot more greys in my beard.
It was a mistake to open your eyes. Now you're just going to do the visual gear on a podcast again.
But that one is pretty self-explanatory. Like, have you ever read a book? You've read a book, right? Sometimes you have to just imagine things
question.
in your head.
Well, yeah, but I can tell you, I made a huge mistake during COVID.
Read a book
last year. No, not book related, grey hair related. So, at the start of 2020, I probably had 3 grey hairs I could see, and then being, slightly, uncomfortable and tense and all the rest, at a mean level that everyone else is roughly. I changed my hair colour quite a lot through 2020. I had purple and
I remember this.
Blue, then blonde, and so on.
Stu, can you keep away from the visual stuff for the pod, please?
Well, it's a descriptor, isn't it? Much like an audio.
That's what I was saying.
Audio book.
That's what I was saying to you.
Okay. I'll get this story out at some point, shall I?
Secondly,
I will remember I reckon, usually when I do that, I remember pretty much half an hour later. So if we're still going in half an hour, I might come up with that secondly again. But when I got round to getting rid of all the colour out of my hair and just going back to my natural hair colour, I had a fuck ton more greys than the start of the year.
Fuck.
And disproportionately to the 6 months that you think you'd naturally progress your grey hair situation.
Yeah, I think maybe last year probably, because I didn't know I had greys in my beard. But,
do you have any respect for anyone potentially listening to this?
I can't help but yawn though. My body requires oxygen now, apparently. Yeah, I think that last year would have given lots of people lots of greys, eh?
Yeah. Was that it? You could have just yawned and then said it after.
I could have. I'm yawning a lot.
Alright, well, what's wrong? You're not sleeping?
I'm sleeping alright. I could probably do with a little more sleep.
We were discussing sleep this morning, I think, and this ties into me forgetting secondly, that I probably don't... my lack of sleep is probably affecting my memory, because I am getting worse, for sure.
Yeah, that's not good. I've heard that sleep does relate to memory.
Alright, this is turning into a weird thing, really, where we're just going, getting old and getting shit.
Well, give me another sports thing. I got a sports thing for you. Some Aussie bloke ran real quick in New York this week. Did you see that?
Fuck off, really?
Yeah, real quick. He ran the 1,500 metre in 3 something. I wrote it down, but the book's...
3 something?
Well, 3 minutes, I think.
Oh, alright. Yeah.
Surely. I didn't actually look at it. There were 3 parts of the number, though.
Is that a question? You went up at the end.
Yeah, because, I thought maybe you could help me understand if it's 3 minutes. It must be 3 minutes.
Can I help you understand a thing I didn't see?
He couldn't
understand.
Well, judging by the fact that there's 3 bits of the time thing.
Well, I don't know. Milliseconds after the...
That's what I thought, because they do measure some racing there, but he wouldn't have run 1,500 metres in 3 seconds.
No, but it'd be 3
That's
minutes.
insane.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'd probably have to see it to explain it to you.
It's something like 03:03:45 or something like that, right?
Okay. What was the distance?
1,500 metres.
And what was the distance?
It's this weekend. Yeah, and he ran it real quick. He beats the time to get into the Olympics by 3 minutes, so he's in the Olympics.
Right. He beat the time by 3 minutes.
3 seconds. 3 seconds. Yeah, the time to get into the Olympics is 6 minutes, 1,500. How fast could you run 1,500 metres, you reckon?
Well, I can't
It's a K and a half.
Yeah, I was about to say I can't even visualise how far that is at this point.
I jog at I think it's about 5 minutes 50 a K.
Okay. Well, that's a start. I don't jog and haven't for a while. So.
But if I went flat out for 1,500 metres, I think if I tried to go flat out for 1,500 metres, I'd end up doing it slower than the 5 minutes that I normally do, because I'd bust myself.
Out,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, look.
It's not often we have, who was the last? Matt Shervington, hey? Was the last good runner we had? Oh, Sally Pearson? Is she a runner? Hurdles.
She's hurdles.
Hurdles.
I don't know. What about, speaking of hurdles, how's Michelle Janicke going? Any good?
I don't think she's a hurdler.
I think she is.
Was she a hurdler? I thought she did the pole vaulting.
No,
That's someone else?
You're thinking of Tatiana Grigorieva.
Oh, yeah, I am thinking of Tatiana. Now, what did you call her?
Tatiana.
No, I know her. The other one?
Michelle Janicke.
I don't think her last name is Janicke.
What do you think it is? Janek?
No, it's something different. Janecki?
No. Can you smell cat piss?
No, not cat piss, but I can smell something weird in the car. Now, this brings up it smells like an airplane all of a sudden, but this brings up a new one. You said no visual gags. This is a olfactory gag.
Yeah, but I described clearly in, audio manner what it was.
Similar to what I did with the grey hairs.
But yeah, forget the grey hairs. What about when you just point to something like my windscreen and go, what's that there?
Yeah, well, that one. Yeah, I get that. I suppose he didn't just say, what's that smell?
Yeah.
It doesn't smell like cat piss, though. It smells like an airplane.
All right, well, look, I've closed the bit where you close off and it's just air circling around inside, so it's just you and me breathing each other's funk.
That's going to get bad.
Yeah.
What was the first airplane you went on?
Oh, it would be a...
Not the plane. Tell me about the experience. I don't actually care about what the first airplane you went on.
Yeah. Well, it's a Cessna.
That's...
I know what you said, but I felt like I was halfway through saying it and I didn't feel like changing.
Really? The first plane you went on was a Cessna?
Yeah, probably.
That's pretty hectic too.
When I was 10 with Scouts, we just did up on the New South Wales Central Coast. We went off at Warnervale Airport. Probably did a few laps in the sky, just seeing what it was bloody like.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. What would I have been? 10?
I don't know.
Yeah. But I'm not like I had to be grown up before I travelled on a commercial plane anywhere. I never went.
What do you mean you had to be grown up before you? Did someone tell you that?
No, we never.
Because they do let kids on.
We never went on holidays anywhere where you needed a plane when I was a kid.
Okay.
Not like my fucking kids who've been to Fiji and
Really?
Queensland and all the rest of the stuff. Bloody.
Queensland and Fiji. Fiji's overseas, right? Queensland's not.
I didn't say overseas. I just said anywhere you need to get to by plane.
Oh, yeah, Queensland you can drive to.
You can, but why would you?
It's a nice drive. Not anymore though. Actually, I did that drive recently.
Is it a nice drive with kids?
Well, no, it's not.
No.
Also, the drive is not as good as it used to be. There's a lot of bypasses now. The highway. I mean, it's quicker. It's better, easier, but
Yeah. But you're not forced to take the freeway all the way there. You can bypass.
yeah, you can. But I feel not forced, but coerced into taking.
Who's coercing you?
The road signs and the kind of natural.
Well, just be prepared while we're talking about Scouts. Just be prepared for where you want to go and when you need to get off. Don't rely on this deceptive signage on the freeways, mate.
Do you recommend the Scouts?
No.
No. Do you dislike the Scouts now?
Well, let me put it this way. I'm just not that type of person.
A Scouts person?
Yeah, someone who likes camping and knots.
Were you in the Scouts?
Yeah. But I was
I wasn't.
I was coerced into it by my parents. I didn't particularly want to.
You're stealing my coerced word, hey?
Yeah. But these are actual people with coercing me with words, not some sort of vague concept of a freeway wants you to stay on it.
Do you think a freeway does want you to stay on it?
Well, that seems to be what you're saying.
You know, isn't there some like Japanese theory that there's like everything has a soul or a desire or something like that? Do you think freeways want you to use them?
Well, I think anything wants you to feel wanted.
Even a freeway?
Well, otherwise, what is it? It's not a freeway if no one's driving on it. It's just a, straight line of concrete.
Ooh, it is. That's pretty deep. Is it concrete? It's not concrete. Have you ever seen roads being made? There's more.
Some of it's concrete.
There's more to it than you'd think.
What do I think goes into road making? You tell me. What do I think?
Okay, there's more to it than I thought. How about that?
Okay.
It's not just you put it down and it's a road. You got to put like a bit of air in there, then another layer and some more air.
Well, you've probably got to plan what's the best place to put the road before any of that as well.
Yeah. There's a lot goes into it. We just drove past the sign that just said free COVID-19 testing, and it didn't look particularly official.
And aren't they all free anyway?
Some guy standing there with it, and like to put things in noses.
I thought they were all free anyway.
Yeah, who's paying for their COVID test?
Well, maybe we don't pay because we're on a, esteemed podcast.
I reckon probably other countries pay for their tests. In fact, I know that.
Yeah, go on.
I know that.
Yeah. Furnish us with more info, what kind
I
of
think
countries.
in America you can pay for quicker ones.
Oh, right. Just express post style?
Yeah, I think different type of test.
Okay.
So back to you don't like the Scouts?
I just, no one likes anything that kind of parents make them do they?
No.
I just wasn't into it, and
Did you acquire many badges?
Some, probably not enough. I just, corroboree. I wasn't into that. There's too many people all at once using the same, porta potties. It's not fun. Camping's not fun. Camping is the biggest myth of our time. Like, I like the outdoors.
Camping is the biggest myth of our time.
Like the
I've been camping. It's not a myth. You can camp.
No, but the mystique of it and the enjoyment of it. You can enjoy the outdoors without having to sleep in the fucker.
I've learnt recently that my relationship with camping involves my relationship with alcohol.
Well, yeah.
Camping's fun if you're drunk the whole time.
Exactly. And so if you're not drinking, what is it?
It's all right. It's not terrible. I think I've got a better view, a kind of view of it than yourself.
So why didn't you do Scouts then if you're so into camping?
Scout sounds terrible. Why? Who wants organised camping? I want free-form camping.
Yeah. How are you on knots?
Not great. And I'd like to be better. One thing I'd like from camping, I've always wanted to learn semaphore. Did you learn semaphore?
No, it's more a shipping thing, I thought.
Yeah.
Sea Scouts.
Sea Scouts, are there?
Have you not heard of Sea Scouts?
No, go on, tell me more.
Oh, my friend Ben was a Sea Scout. Look, I think it's just Scouts, but you happen to be near water and maybe do a little bit more boating than you might in regulation Scouts.
Sea Scouts, I like the sound of that. That's where I'd find my semaphore.
You know what? I'll ask him more about it before next episode, and I'll tell you more about Sea Scouts. Everybody on the socials, just get on there, and if you could just put a little post there going, yeah, Stu, Sea Scouts, man, don't forget, we want to hear more about that. Just so I know that there's an appetite for Sea Scouts out there.
Do you think there's any other forms of Scouts we're unaware of?
Or like Fire Scouts.
Yeah, or Air Scouts. Yeah. Fire Scouts is good.
All the elements.
Some kind of like cave Scouts?
Or like
kind of Morlocks?
Half man, half boy, half worm kind of Scouts.
Oh, yeah, I like that. You got any more sports stuff?
There's a weird thing going on at the top of the Test Championships where this series in India.
Keep going.
I think what happened there was, I think he started falling asleep and just dropped his phone.
The iPhone is not super ergonomical to hold.
Ergonomic, isn't that just related to the back? Anyway,
ergonomic's just the back? No, because you can have like an ergonomic keyboard that doesn't involve my back.
What does that mean?
Ergonomic, I think like.
No, what is?
What does my back mean? Which bit?
The fact
ergonomic?
that a keyboard can be ergonomic.
Well, it's the shaped ones. I think ergonomic means designed in a shape that fits naturally with the human body.
Right, rather than the original fuck you template of we're going to be whatever shape we want and you better be happy to accommodate us.
Do you mean sentient keyboards that are saying we'll be whatever shape?
Freeway stuff.
See, my wife's calling now. I don't even know if that means that I'm still recording.
Well, let's find out.
Yeah, let's find out. Oh.
The world. It's a weird place. My name's Stuart Buckland, and some guests and I are going to look at all the weird stuff that happens in this world of ours. Is that suitably vague enough for you? Bit weird, but fair enough, I guess. Find this podcast wherever you listen to other podcasts.
Goodness, the chips.
We're back. Sorry, my wife called. It was something I had worried about at the beginning. That's a perfect part. No, I didn't worry, but I just thought that might happen. That's a perfect part to cut for the middle break of our show. This one has been particularly waffly, but I don't want to go away from that. I'm enjoying it. What are we talking about? We're talking about Sea Scouts and potential half worm, half human underground Scouts.
We're not talking about Scouts anymore.
We moved on.
I said I would come back with more information if the public wants it. If our legion of fans get on the socials and say, yes, Buckland, yes, Sea Scouts, brah, more info, please.
Sea Scouts, brah. Ergonomic, that's what we were talking about. Ergonomic, because I dropped the phone.
Should we be?
Why not?
Alright, what do you know about ergonomics, mate?
Not much.
Well, then why are we talking about it?
Well, because I said that I dropped the phone, and I thought that the phone should be more ergonomic. It doesn't seem like the Apple has designed itself, been designed ergonomically.
Right.
You were telling me before that you've been watching Terminator again recently.
I was trying to tell you about the Test Championships, if you
Oh, yeah.
correctly.
Sport Pod. Yeah. Tell me about the test.
So we've got a situation now where, you know how we have a final of the Test Championship. It's a one-off test at Lord's mid-year, right?
Yeah, I'm still confused by it all, but sure, yes. Who is in the final?
So we got New Zealand, but
didn't we need India and England to draw to get that?
Well, I'm trying to explain it to you.
Okay.
So India, our tour of South Africa got cancelled. So our ability to put ourselves forward, you know, have control over our own destiny,
Yeah, that's
is
what
gone.
that stands for. Yeah, sure.
So now we're sitting here watching India v England to see whether we leapfrog India into that second place and therefore get to take on New Zealand, or whether India or indeed England push ahead and do it. So I think as we stand now, Australia needs
A draw?
draws. Yeah. A draw and a India loss, I think.
Do you know, because we didn't go to South Africa, do they count as draws for us or they count as nothing?
I don't think they count as anything, unfortunately.
Well, that's fucked.
Yeah. Especially seeing as we invited South Africa here and they didn't want to do it. We're pretty much out of spite.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened? Have we been sandpapering balls or something?
No, because they're cut up rough about us not going to South Africa.
Oh. So we said, come here.
Yeah.
Well,
And they
that's
went,
fair. Yeah, I get that.
well, I can understand that, but yeah, they're from the perspective of, well, we thought we were COVID safe anyway, so why should we? So,
well, we don't have a new fucking strain.
you're not doing
named
that shit. Yawn and then talk.
We don't have a new strain named after us, though, eh?
No,
South
I know,
Africa?
I know,
Yeah?
I know.
Fucked up.
So yeah, that's my kind of cricket talk. Tennis, are we interested in talking about that?
Oh, yeah, I did have something to talk about with that. Ash Barty went out today in somewhat controversial circumstance.
Yeah.
She got beaten by a lady who did a early
Plea.
She was down. The lady, I don't know the name of the one who beat her, but
Sport podcast.
well, whatever. Ash Barty won the first set 6-1.
Yeah.
Then was up a break in the second set.
Okay.
Then her opponent took a medical timeout for what appears to be not a medical need.
Right.
Went and got her head straight.
That sounds medical.
Yeah.
Was it on an ankle?
Head was out of whack.
Right. Okay.
Went and got her head straight and returned and pumped her. Any thoughts?
Well, it depends what you mean by head straight. What are we saying, that she was, you know, thinking about her washing or something, or
Yeah,
whether
I
she
think
left
she
the
was-
iron on,
Yeah, she was miles away.
and then sort of needed time to focus rather than treat an ailment? Is that what you mean?
Yes, exactly.
Well, are we considering kind of, you know, lack of focus an ailment of any kind?
No, but perhaps we should.
Yeah, maybe we should.
But do you think for lack of focus you could take a timeout in a match? Should you be allowed to do that?
I don't know. I find tennis dull.
Why?
I just do. I've never been into tennis. I think I'd like to play tennis. I don't mind playing tennis. I don't play it enough. If anyone out there wants to play me at tennis, let me know, because
I'll play you at tennis.
Yeah, when?
Saturday.
No, I wasn't expecting
Yeah,
specifics.
I knew.
Okay.
When was the last time you played a game of tennis?
Probably when I was in the Cook Islands or somewhere. I don't know.
You were in the Cook Islands?
Yeah.
Tell me about the Cook Islands.
Cook Islands are the most beautiful place I've been.
Really?
So yeah, it's there was my wife and I's honeymoon was there.
Oh yeah.
And it's just an amazing place. It's like 6 hours flight out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It's a chain, like a group of islands.
An archipelago.
Group of islands, yeah. And yeah, it's just amazing snorkeling, amazing.
What kind of people are there? Is it? Are they Polynesians?
Yeah.
Cook Islanders?
Yeah. What?
Is it a country?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a country.
It's a country, but it falls under the kind of governance of New Zealand.
Ah, okay. Is it a commensurate?
I don't think that's the right word.
I think that is the right word. I think it's commensurate. What language do they speak there?
I don't know if there's a
local dialect of some sort?
I don't know. I don't want to say Cook Islandese because that doesn't sound very informed, does it?
No, sure does not. Is it a big place?
No.
Population?
Oh, fuck, man.
Well, just rough estimate.
10,000 across.
Really?
No, I don't know. I've got no idea.
Okay.
You can kind of drive around the main island in less than half an hour, I think. Why are we talking about this? Just out of interest.
I don't know. I'm interested by the Cook Islands. I didn't know if it was a country or not.
But we're also doing this for other people, presumably, as well.
Who do you think know more about the Cook Islands?
Or probably would go to any number of Cook Island related podcasts if they wanted to hear about Cook Islands.
What kind of cuisine did they have?
Well, the main kind of restaurant I saw was Rarotonga Fried Chicken.
Oh yeah, nice.
Which was a funny kind of takeoff of Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's a lot of so the main dish is just lemon cured fish.
Like ceviche.
Is that what it's called?
Or ceviche. Well,
they called it poke.
Poke?
Poke, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right. Okay. Yeah, I'm there with you. That's great. Poke is delicious. Poke is a Hawaiian thing.
Right. Yeah. So it's like that. I had the most delicious chicken coconut salad I've ever had in my life.
There you go.
I still think about that salad like on the regular, probably once every month or so.
You're really making me feel good because one of my hesitancies always for visiting the Pacific Islands has been that I don't desire their cuisine very much. But this has perhaps changed that.
But again, it's like you're not coerced freeway style into having anything particular. There's restaurants there with different foods.
You've been to Fiji as well, hey?
Yeah. Why? What's going on here?
I don't know. I'm keeping the conversation going. I'm learning about Pacific Islands.
Are you kind of auditioning yourself for some sort of travel podcast?
No. God, no. No, I love travel, but for some reason the Pacific Islands have never interested me.
Well, I
feel like what's the difference between here and there?
Beauty for
Yeah, far north Queensland's got some good beaches.
Yeah, no crocs. How about that?
That's it though.
No. I I don't know how to go into the specifics of the loveliness for you. That looking up a few pictures wouldn't tell the story a lot better. But my wife and I are super into snorkeling, and it's just
really. That sounded a bit creepy. Super into it, eh? You creeps. Super into snorkeling. I like snorkeling, but I'm not super into it. Do you go snorkeling around here?
Have done.
I like snorkeling. I struggled the first couple of years I did snorkeling. I would always get water in the tube and breathe it in. I can't go underwater with the tube. Can you?
Yeah.
What's the trick?
But you don't need to really in places like the Cook Islands because you're swimming over reefs. That's where all the action is.
Yeah, I like that. Did you encounter any good animals?
Do you mean like fish?
Yeah, they're animals.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. That's why the snorkeling is good.
I was snorkeling once, where was I? Maybe Mexico, and I saw a turtle. That was fun.
The tone of this podcast has changed a lot in the second half.
Right.
I can tell you, Hamilton.
Have you ever seen Full Metal Jacket?
Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah, when Sergeant Hartman stops yelling at people, you mean?
Well, how it's like two movies.
Yeah. Hamilton Island was quite good snorkel. I didn't mind it there as well. I came nose to nose with a reef shark at Hamilton Island.
Oh yeah,
that was good. That was scary.
That's kind of cool. Where was I? Guatemala, and Belize, and we went swimming with the reef sharks, and I think they got some different kind of like laws is the right route, a more lax attitude with their animal safety, and they were just grabbing sharks and getting you to hold them and stuff that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I wasn't in for that too much.
You just kind of waved them away when they grabbed a shark and offered it towards you. Is that what you're saying?
Well, the water was about waist height, right?
Okay.
And there were sharks everywhere, and they'd bring them in with food and then say, "Here, you want to hold a shark? Here, it's a big shark."
So they get them
Hold it."
frenzied up with some chum
Yeah,
in the water.
yeah. But
So
they're
here they
not.
are.
But they're not your eating sharks. Like, they don't eat people.
Okay.
You know what's a very scary animal? Sea snakes.
Yeah. You forget about them. That's why.
Yeah.
Have we talked about that
I think
before?
we have.
Oh, fuck.
On the podcast, maybe,
Oh,
maybe not.
who
I don't know.
knows?
But yeah, sea snakes are scary.
You haven't got any more yawns to do in the middle of sentences, by the way?
No, but don't say yawn, because then it'll make me want to yawn.
Alright. Monty, I'm sure we had more sports stuff to talk about than this.
Wasn't I talking? Oh, yeah. Well, you think you can just take a mental break during tennis to just do what you want?
Look, I don't know enough about how people feel about the breaks, full stop. When did medical breaks come in? I don't know enough about tennis.
I think they were seen as a far more serious thing until kind of recently.
Right.
Like, you would only get them if you've broken a bone or something.
All I know about tennis is the kind of grabs they take of someone having a dummy spit. That's all I ever see of it.
Did you see Kyrgios drinking a Pepsi on the sideline the other day?
No.
Yeah, that was new. No one had seen that.
Max?
Yes, actually. It was a Pepsi. Oh, is Pepsi Max still a thing? It's whatever the... Yeah?
Yeah.
It's the Coke Zero of Pepsis. Is that Pepsi Max?
Yes.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, see, right? There might be something different. Pepsi Life? Is that a thing?
I don't know. I don't drink soft drinks that much really anymore.
I quite like soft drinks. I don't drink them that much anymore.
Soft drinks. This is an old kind of Tony Martin bit, but
Go on.
just the name, soft drinks.
Well, no one else calls it that, and Lindsay, my wife, thinks that our country's alcoholics because we call them soft drinks.
Right. So meaning that it's not a drink you want to be seen drinking.
Yeah.
You want a hard drink.
Yeah, well, hard drinks aren't even called that. They're just drinks. That's what she was getting at, which was you just have your regular drink is alcoholic.
All right. I feel that more than ever, we're failing in our remit. So we talked about rugby league. They're just regurgitating the same fucking stories until the season comes around. Cricket, weird test championship thing going on. We have to sit back and watch what happens. Tennis,
You don't
whatever.
care.
Whatever.
Yep.
Sea Scouts, no, forget
Important.
that. So come on, what other sports going on?
There's the whole endemic racism at Collingwood. Would you like to
Yeah.
discuss that?
I don't think
That's
so.
quite a jump.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know what we'd add to that really. Other than I don't mind Eddie Maguire leaving.
Yeah, that's fair.
And if you're Eddie Maguire in that situation, you probably want to tell your mate Sam Newman to shut the fuck up and not pipe up. Even if it's in your defence, like, you don't need the association.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's fair.
Because, I don't know, maybe you might do a vox pop on the street and just start.
He was good at those.
Well, if you find making fun of foreign people particularly funny,
And Bogans. He made fun of Bogans too.
I suppose.
Golf.
Golf? Anything happening in golf that we should talk about?
Well, yeah, but it's boring. But
Okay,
it's not
what
that
about...
boring. Here, I got some for you.
please. Premier League, soccer, anything going on
I think the first...
Did your team lose 9-0 again?
No, we did this weird thing we've been doing, which is we play the same team. It's just happened this way that we play the same team in the FA Cup and the league in 2 games back to back.
Yeah.
So we played Arsenal in the cup and then in the league, and then we play Wolves in the cup and then in the league.
Right.
Both times we've won the cup game, which is great, but then just come out looking dismal and lost the league game.
Yeah.
So it's a cup year for us, obviously. So we are now in the semis. Quarters. And we're playing, we got the best draw we possibly could. We got Bournemouth. So hopefully we'll beat fucking Bournemouth. But you never know. What I was going to talk to you about was the other day was the first NASCAR event of the season.
I'm really sorry. Do you know what happened then? I honestly started drifting off and started thinking about the fact that I left part of my dinner at work and what I'm going to do about that.
What are you going to do?
I'd probably have to find some more, but I'm just not something I'd factored in time-wise into my evening. I really apologise. I caught myself doing it and felt a little ashamed because I realised I wasn't listening to a part of what you were saying.
That's all right. Well, due to our proximity to my house now, because we've been in the car, I'm going to have to get this story across quickly.
So you probably don't want me interrupting you too much.
I don't mind. NASCAR started the other day.
So I can interrupt you?
I think their first one is Daytona.
Again with the questions.
I think the first race is Daytona. I'm pretty sure it's Daytona, right? That's the first one of the season. Daytona? Yeah, I think it could be Daytona. And what happened this year was a big year because there's a new team, right? A new team of drivers. Well, car team. No, it's Michael Jordan's team. Michael Jordan bought a team.
What?
Yeah. And Bubba Wallace is the driver. So it was a kind of almost new year, new time to try and reintroduce NASCAR to a more diverse crowd of America. Okay?
So they're not happy with the hick dollar anymore?
Well, there was this... I don't know if you know this. I learned a lot about the history of NASCAR the other day, but there was a big time in the 80s and 90s where New York and LA caught on to NASCAR big time.
Really?
Yeah, country music and NASCAR became like the it thing.
Wow.
Yeah, and that all kind of died around 2001 when Dale Earnhardt died.
Oh, yeah, Dale.
Yeah. But so, they're back. There's a Michael Jordan team. The car's in the Michael Jordan, like, black and red colours, which is another thing in itself. That's the Chicago Bulls colours, but they're also associated with Jordan.
So is this just... Is he trying just slyly to do every sport ever? Because he did baseball for a while.
He's not driving the car.
But do you know that?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
you could see.
All right.
See into the car. You could also see him
The
on the
word tinted
sideline.
up so much that you couldn't see him?
No, and you could see him too. But, so, this was all an epic fail. I'll tell you why.
Oh, tell me.
They had also advertised that it was on prime time. Well, not prime time. It was on a Sunday afternoon. It's a perfect thing. In the first 2 laps, I think, maybe 10 laps. First 10 laps, there was a 16-car pile-up.
Yeah.
Which created a 1 hour long... So the race started at 2 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Creates a 1 hour long problem, right? You've got to stop the cars. No one's racing, right?
Right.
And then, during that gap, there was lightning, then rain. So, it was delayed until a 9:30 p.m. restart and finished at midnight, which is just unheard of for cars. And also, well, not for cars. Cars drive all night. Cars can drive whenever they want. But so, like, if you had flicked over, like, it's like Bathurst going till, like, 1 in the morning.
Right.
But so they lost all their audience. No one got to watch it.
Yeah.
And occasionally during that time, they were playing some replays of old races because they had nothing to do, and there was no Jordan car, so people were like, "What's this?" And just,
So they're ringing Australia, just going, "How do your cricket commentators feel for hours?"
exactly.
Yeah.
Do you have some cricket show on hand? We could. Yeah, it's lunchtime. Can you get Binger to bowl at some dummy or something?
At Piers Morgan?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well that's really weird. We're nearly at your house, so what I'm going to say to people is, I feel like there's heaps of stuff we could have talked about, and it's just not leaping to mind immediately because I'm driving a car rather than looking at a notebook potentially full of ideas.
And also thinking about your dinner.
Thinking about my dinner. But please, I'm serious. I want you on the socials. What should we have been talking about? Because I feel a little dissatisfied with this episode.
Do the work for us.
Just tell, what should we have talked about? Okay? Sea Scouts, do you want to know more? What are you happy for kind of us to not even bother with sport? That we're so uninformed about sport, we may as well not bother mentioning it.
Why not let us know?
Yeah. Seriously. We didn't set up social channels just so you could ignore them.
I just checked. We are recording. It would have been funny if we weren't recording.
That's a good end, I think.
Yeah, all right. I'll talk to you later. Hello, my name is Piers Grove, and I'm a founder, publisher, and managing director. In March 2022, I'd just been named Managing Director of Australian Geographic and set up Scout Publishing. Then everything changed. 404 Brain Not Found, the podcast for stroke survivors and their friends and colleagues. We explore the absurd experience and frustrating journey of stroke recovery. 404 Brain Not Found, a general experiments podcast on all podcast streamers.
My name's Stu,
I'm Rachel.
and we are fans
Obsessives might be the word.
of the 90s. The 90s. The 90s. The 90s. You can follow the podcast on your favourite podcast app. Rachel, what's the name of the show?
Swinging on the flippity flop.
Why the 90s?
We lived it.
We lived it, we were it.
Was it the best decade ever or the lamest? Let's find out.
Flippity flop.